Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Friday. Just one day away now from Arsenal returning to action in the Premier League with that tricky looking trip to Liverpool on the horizon. Mikel Arteta has been speaking about that game at today's press conference. I'm sure you've probably seen it already, but if you haven't, I'm just going to go over a few of the things he's had to say. I'll look ahead to that Liverpool game, end with my predicted 11 as always. In terms of what Mikel had to say, I don't know if you've seen the press conference today, he's certainly playing a few mind games, I think, for me, when it comes to injuries and team news, hinting that Aubameyang and Partey aren't, he's not sure if they're going to be fit or not. I'm not quite sure that's the case. I think that might be a little bit of manager mind games going on there. Arsenal didn't even include the two in their team news update yesterday that they put out on the website that comes from the club doctor. All they had listed in there was Kolasinac and Granit Xhaka. And then the line at the bottom saying all other players are fit and available for selection. Didn't even mention Partey and Aubameyang. Arteta saying in his press conference that Auba's early return from international duty wasn't pre-planned, which certainly wasn't what I heard. And I think I'd be very, very surprised, let's put it that way, if Aubameyang isn't in the starting 11 when Arsenal play at Anfield tomorrow. Thomas Partey as well. But Mikel, this is what he had to say about the two of them. On Auba, he said it wasn't pre-planned. We have to assess him and see how he is and make a decision. We have a lot of players who've been through some different games, issues, little injuries. So today we have to test everybody and see how they are. Auba's been back since Wednesday, so I don't know why they're waiting to assess him today. And he's been back since Wednesday. And Thomas Partey said, same again, he could not play for the national team. He really tried to do that because they had a massive game and he really wanted to push for that one, but he wasn't close enough to do that. Again, it's something we have to assess today because he hasn't done enough preparation work. Not too sure on that. I would, like I said, I'd be very, very surprised if those two aren't available. And travelling up later today with the rest of the squad for that game at Anfield tomorrow, which is a very, very important game. In terms of team news, aside from those two, it's only Xhaka and Kolasinac who won't be available. Granit Xhaka is back running, Arsenal said yesterday in their team news update, and still saying that he's aiming to be back full training by January. You kind of feel like it might be sooner than that. At the rate he seems to be getting better, but they're still saying January. In terms of Kolasinac, there's no time frame on his return, but Arsenal saying that ankle injury that he picked up on international duty was significant. Hopefully Siad won't be out for too long and he'll be back on his feet fairly soon and back involved fairly soon for him. It's not, you wouldn't say it's a massive loss to Arsenal because let's face it, he wasn't going to be involved at Anfield anyway, but still you don't want to see players injured, and hopefully he can come back sooner rather than later for what was a very, very nasty looking injury. But apart from that, everyone's looking pretty good for Arsenal. In terms of Liverpool, they've obviously got some injuries, doubts over some key players. They're going to be missing the likes of Firmino, but looks like a lot of the players that were injured during the international break, as I touched on in the last video, look like they're going to be all right. Mane, Henderson, Milner, players like that, they look like they're going to be fit. We don't know yet about Andy Robertson, so he might miss out. And if that's the case, then Tomiskas, you'd imagine, will come in at left back. He's done a very good job in Robertson's absence at times this season anyway. So Liverpool might be missing a few. Arsenal probably not so much, barring unless Mikel is actually being truthful when it comes to Thomas Partey and Aubameyang and not trying to play the odd mind game ahead of a big game when it comes to who might be starting or not. But as I'll say in my predicted 11 at the end of this game, I'm certainly expecting both of those two to be involved. On what's going to be a very big and difficult afternoon for Arsenal at a ground where they've just been terrible at. I think it's 2012. You have to go all the way back to then when Arsenal last won. I think that was Santi Cazorla, the day Santi Cazorla scored his first goal for Arsenal, and Diaby as well. I'm pretty sure it was that one. You had a couple of wins in a row, didn't we, when Van Persie scored the last minute winner there, and then you had the Diaby masterclass when Cazorla and Poldi scored. And that's it. There's been the win in the League Cup recently on penalties. But other than that, Anfield's just been a horrible ground for Arsenal to visit. It really has been. They've been dreadful at Man United in recent years, dreadful at Stamford Bridge, and dreadful at Anfield. They won at Old Trafford last season. They won at Stamford Bridge last season. Can they also end the Anfield hoodoo this season tomorrow? If they can, it would be a massive statement and it would keep the unbeaten run going, and it would maybe show to a lot of people, well, Arsenal, maybe we do have to take them seriously this year. Backing up what was a very good win at Leicester, if they can go and win at Anfield, it would be a huge statement. It's going to be tough. I think Liverpool, as I've mentioned before, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing that they lost that game before the international break. You kind of feel like they're going to be a bit of a wounded animal. It's a late game. It's under the lights at Anfield. We know what that can mean. Mikel was asked in his press conference, why are Arsenal so bad at Liverpool? Why haven't they won since you were in the team in 2012? Said, I don't know. Obviously, the quality of the opponent has a big say. It's not a coincidence, though, that last year, before we went to Old Trafford, we haven't won there in many years, and then we won at Stamford Bridge the same. First of all, you have to believe that you can go there and that you can beat them. That's the first thing. If somebody is not with that mindset, then they should not put that shirt on and go to Anfield tomorrow. So Mikel calling on his players to believe in themselves, to believe they are good enough to go up and get the win at Anfield. And like I said, what a massive win it would be. Unfortunately, I'm not going tomorrow. I'm off this weekend because my wife has gone away with her friends for a nice spa treatment for the weekend, so I'm stuck at home with the kids. Well, I wouldn't say stuck at home with the kids, can't complain about that, it's going to be a lot of fun, but it means I can't go up to Anfield, so I'll be watching like the rest of you on TV, or trying to watch like the rest of you on TV. I'll probably be in the kitchen trying to cook dinner. Whether I'll be like you, hiding behind the sofas probably every time Mane and Salah and everyone gets on the ball. It's going to be a difficult game, there's no doubt about it, but can Arsenal win? We'll have to wait and see. We went through the possible team on my last video, looking at what Arsenal should do. Should it be 3 at the back? Should it be 4-4-2? Reading the comments that you guys sent me afterwards, lots of you seem to think it should be 4-4-2 and that Arsenal should try and take the game to Liverpool. I think that's what they probably will end up doing, but I can see some arguments for going 3 at the back and trying to shore things up a little bit and make sure there's not too much space right down the centre of the pitch that Liverpool could exploit. So I can see an argument for 3 at the back, but I tend to agree with what a lot of you were saying in the comments in my last video, that 4-4-2 is probably the way to go and try and be on the front foot a little bit at Anfield, where it's safe to say it's a stadium Arsenal haven't been on the front foot many times in recent years. A couple of more interesting bits from the press conference today on Lacazette's contract. There has been possible, there's certainly been speculation about maybe a short-term deal being offered to Lacazette, and Mikel was asked about that, and he said, look, there is so much talk. What I can say is I'm really happy with Laka and what he's doing at the moment. I've said that we are not going to be talking about any of that until the end of the season. So, at the end of the season, Lacazette will be out of contract. So, certainly leaving it late if that is going to be really the case, but as tends to be the way with manager talk in a lot of these things, as I've mentioned with the injuries, you've got to take them all with a little bit of sort of pinch of salt in terms of what they say publicly, because I'm sure there would be something going on. If Arsenal really do want to give Lacazette a short-term contract, and it is something that Arteta is keen on, I can't imagine they're definitely going to wait until the end of the season. There will be some sort of discussions between now and then, especially given the fact that Lacazette would be able to talk to clubs from January, because he'll be out of contract in the summer, so I imagine Arsenal would be looking to do something before that. Another player who's been linked with a move away is Mohamed El Neni. There's been reports in Turkey and Egypt that he could be on his way to Galatasaray and that Arsenal would be willing to basically cancel his contract in January. Now, I can't see that happening. And Mikel was talked about it. He just said, I'm really happy with Mo. I won't be discussing individually any other players. It's not the time to do so. But I just can't see that. A, because Arsenal aren't exactly blessed with lots of central midfielders at the moment. B, Mo's got the African Cup of Nations in January, which isn't ideal for a transfer if you're going to do that. And it just wouldn't really make sense. I mean, why would you get rid of an experienced international a few months before he's out of contract? You may as well just wait until the end of the season, because like I said, you've not got too many midfielders and a few injuries, and suddenly you might need to call on Mohamed El Neni. So it just doesn't really, just on the face of it, it doesn't really ring true to me. I think El Neni's certainly going to go. I mean, he's not going to stay at Arsenal, but I just can't see it's going to be in January. And they're going to cancel his contract a few months early. I think they'll keep Mohamed El Neni around because he's an important member of the squad at the moment. Yes, he's not really pushing for a first team place at the moment, and you'd say that even like Ainsley Maitland-Niles was ahead of him. But even so, what would be the point just for a few months before he goes? You've only got to pay him for about 5 more months. So, yeah, I just on El Neni, I just can't see it. I'd be very, very surprised if those reports that have come out of Turkey recently or Egypt, wherever they've stemmed from, are absolutely accurate. I think we'll wait till the summer for that one. Okay, predicted 11 time now ahead of that game at Anfield. Like I said, I am expecting Aubameyang and Thomas Partey to start. I'll be very surprised if they don't. I'd certainly be surprised if Orbis doesn't start. I mean, Partey maybe, because he has, he didn't go away with Ghana. There is definitely a genuine injury there, so there's a slight chance Partey might be on the bench, but I'm fully expecting him to be involved in the squad. I think Aubrey will definitely start. But my predicted 11 for the game at Anfield tomorrow, I think there's just the one real thing is who plays at left back. If you're going to go 4-4-2, do you bring Tierney in, or do you stick with Nuno Tavares, who's been so good in Tierney's absence? Personally, I think he's going to go with experience and he's going to bring Tierney back in. Tierney was very good during the international break for Scotland. Clearly showed he's up to speed and he is match fit. So I think I'd be surprised if Tierney doesn't start and if Nuno gets the nod for this one. So my predicted 11 is Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu right back, centre backs Ben White and Gabriel. Kieran Tierney at left back. Then go with a midfield pairing of Sambi and Thomas Partey, Emil Smith-Rowe, Bukayo Saka, Alexander Lacazette and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So that's my predicted 11 for the game. Like I said, you've got that left back situation, which is going to be an interesting one. I think he'll favour Tierney over Tavares. You've also got the option, maybe if he wants to put an extra man in midfield or just a little bit more security to that midfield, maybe to take Lacazette out and bring Martin Odegaard in. Personally, the way Lacazette's been playing before the international break, how good he was at Leicester and in that really tricky looking away game, I think Lacazette will probably get the nod and that will be the team that he goes for. So one more time there, it's Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Sambi, Smith-Rowe, Saka, Lacazette and Aubameyang. That's my Arsenal predicted 11 for the trip to Anfield. All right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time as always. Like I said, I'm not going to be at Anfield tomorrow, so I can't do my live stuff before the game in terms of the warm-up or my player ratings from the press box, anything like that. So apologies for that, but I am on dad duty this weekend. But I'll try and do my best to watch it if my kids allow me to. And hopefully try and get a video done either on Sunday, but if not Sunday, certainly Monday, reflecting on that game and going a little bit into depth into my views on what took place. Hopefully, what will be a memorable 3 points for Arsenal. Until then, everyone have a very good day. Enjoy your weekend. Come on, the Arsenal. I'll speak to you soon.